Cottrell-Bentley and welcome to Exogeology-REx! This episode, we meet Professor of Planetary Science for the University of Arizona and Principal Investigator of the OSIRIS-REx mission, Dante Lauretta.
Hi, Zoe.
Hi. Could you please tell us a little bit about the OSIRIS-REx mission?
Sure. OSIRIS-REx is a NASA mission that will launch in 2016, rendezvous with a near-Earth asteroid named Bennu, study that asteroid for around a year, send the spacecraft down to the surface to grab a sample, and then bring that material back to Earth in 2023 for scientific analysis.
That sounds really awesome. And I've heard that not only do you work for OSIRIS-REx, but you also help to tell people about all the cool stuff that you're doing in space with something called Extronaut. What is this?
Right, so Extronaut is a private company that I created to develop educational content around the OSIRIS-REx mission and other missions of planetary exploration.
That sounds really awesome. So what exactly are you working on right now?
So right now, for Extronaut, we're developing educational activities that are designed for grades 3 through 8. They're meant to go into the classrooms for teachers to teach STEM disciplines, that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And they're connected to a real space mission and ongoing activities in outer space.
That sounds really cool.
We hope so.
So overall, what's the best part of your job?
The best part of being the principal investigator for OSIRIS-REx is all of the amazing experiences that I get to partake in. I've been on NASA's Vomit Comet reduced gravity aircraft, where we've done testing of the sampling mechanism. I've been in the engineering high bays to see real spacecraft being built at Lockheed Martin, including Juno, the Jupiter orbiter, and Maven, the Mars orbiter, and now OSIRIS-REx coming together. I get to travel all around the world and meet amazing people who have some of the best jobs on the planet.
That sounds really incredible. But now that I've heard the best part, what's the worst part of your job?
The worst part of my job is the large management that comes with it. I'm responsible not only for the science on the mission, but I have to deal with the budgets and the schedules, manage the people, make sure that everybody has what they need to do their job the best. So a lot of my time is sitting in front of a computer looking at budget spreadsheets and trying to make sure the resources are all stacking up so we can get this job done.
That makes sense. So how exactly did you get interested in planetary science?
Yeah, my interest in planetary science started when I was a senior in college, really, and I had working on degrees in math and physics, and I really wanted something in the real world to work on. And I saw this newspaper ad in the Arizona Daily Wildcat. I was here at the U of A as an undergraduate student, and it said, "Work for NASA." And it was an undergraduate research opportunity through the NASA Space Grant Program, and I got the job, and I got assigned the task of developing a language to communicate with extraterrestrials in case the SETI program was successful. And that just opened my horizons into the whole world of planetary science.
So how exactly did you go about that?
So I was working with a math professor, and we sat down and we said, how would you establish communication? And you need context. And we said, well, what is the most common thing in the universe? Any society or intelligence that's looking out, what are they going to see? And we said hydrogen. They're going to see hydrogen. It's 90% of the universe or more, depending on how you add it up. And so if we could communicate the idea of a hydrogen atom, then we could start talking about the whole periodic table, and that gets us into the chemistry of our planets and even ourselves, and we can start talking in that common term.
That sounds like a really interesting job.
It was great.
So what's the most exciting thing that you've done?
The most exciting thing that I've done, that's a tough one because I get to do a lot of exciting things, but I get a lot of excitement about teaching and working with students and seeing that next generation come along, see the light bulb go off as they learn a new concept and get excited about scientific exploration. So to me, that's really what makes this job worthwhile.
So what advice would you give kids who are interested in space?
If you're interested in space, definitely focus on the fundamentals. Math is very important, science is very important, but you also need to learn how to read and to write because that's how we communicate all of that information. And then pay attention. There's all kinds of great space science news that's out there, like Exogeology-REx or other venues, and you'd be amazed at how many probes are out there, how many planets we're exploring right now, and so really start to plug into the community.
That's good advice. So with all these interesting things going on in your life, what's the funniest thing that's happened to you during your job?
Well, that's actually a pretty easy question because I had one of the most ironic experiences you can imagine about a year and a half ago. The date was February 15th, 2013, and we had planned this major media event because a near-Earth asteroid called 2012 DA14 was predicted to fly very close to the Earth, even closer than some of our weather satellites.
Wow.
And we said, this is great. We can use this opportunity to highlight the OSIRIS-REx mission, all the great work NASA does. So I was scheduled to go on camera across the country to talk about this great event, and I get on TV, and sure enough, an asteroid has crashed into Russia in a city called Chelyabinsk. And so I went on to talk about this asteroid that was not going to hit the Earth, and I found out the top story of the news that day was an asteroid that did hit the Earth, and so I had to respond in very real time to those groundbreaking events.
Yeah, that's quite an event.
Absolutely.
I also heard that you've been talking to people from the Japanese Hayabusa 2 asteroid mission, and somehow they're going to be working with OSIRIS-REx. What's happening here?
Yeah, Hayabusa 2 is a really exciting mission. They're launching on November 30th of this year.
Wow.
And so they're getting ready to blast off into space. The interesting thing is they won't get to their asteroid until 2018, the same time we get to Bennu. So we're going to have a Japanese spacecraft at an asteroid, and we're going to have an American spacecraft at an asteroid. And so we decided, hey, this is a really hard job. Wouldn't it be great if we had another team that was going through very similar challenges that we could interact with and help each other out? Sure enough, the space agencies agreed. NASA and JAXA, which is what the Japanese Space Agency is called, have put together a memorandum of understanding that says these groups can work together, we can support each other, we can share data. They're also a sample return mission. So we'll be able to exchange samples. So we'll have samples of not only one asteroid, but 2 asteroids. And the amount of science we can get from that is phenomenal.
That sounds really awesome. Thank you so much for telling us about everything that you do.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming out.
This has been Exogeology Rocks. Thanks for watching.